Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and just today we got the patch notes for the first updates of Chapter 4 Defying the Odds. This update will be releasing tomorrow, which is June 25th at 1 AM Pacific Daylight Time for PC, 2 AM for PS4, and 3 AM for Xbox One. So before we get the video started, Sundan, which was a map that was supposed to be released on June 27th, is supposed to be delayed due to game crashing bugs with, I think, Conquest on that map, so they didn't give any info on whether the map will be released with fewer modes or they will just delay the map altogether, but that was news that happened last week. Now the patch notes for update number 1 of Chapter 4 Defying the Odds is actually quite substantial. I'm going to go through the most important bits in my opinion. As always, a link to the full patch notes will be in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment. So without further ado, let's get stuck right into this. So vehicle fixes. Airplane engine sounds no longer play repeatedly during flybys. Fixed an issue where the Churchill crocodile turret could be disabled and was unable to be repaired. The Flak 38 no longer scores points from glancing blows against an unmanned SDKF Z251. Fixed a bug that allowed players to spot enemies with stationary weapons. Added the new cooking destruction animation to the Churchill crocodile reinforcement tank. Squad leaders are now able to give squad orders while in the bottom gunner seat in the JU-88C, as well as the flamethrower front gunner seat in the Churchill crocodile. Fixed an issue with the visual dust effect on some moving tanks. The PaK 40 and QF 6-pounder anti-tank stationary weapons will no longer automatically reload while the player is in zoomed in mode. Weapon, gadget, and specialization fixes. Changed the Boys AT rifle magazine to contain 5+1 in the chamber. Boys AT rifle with a medium range scope now correctly shows scope glint. Bipods now deploy and undeploy with better response. Previously, the game checked whether the bipod should deploy or undeploy every 0.3 seconds. That is now every 0.1 seconds. Some changes have been brought to medical and ammo crates, so players that have selected the medical or ammo crate can now be seen holding it in one hand when viewed in third person. Adjusted the medical crate's healing radius to 4 meters when deployed and carried. The medical crate owner is now awarded healing score when the crate's aura heals friendly players. I don't even know why that wasn't a thing before. When deployed or selected, the ammo crate now also resupplies your teammates' primary and secondary ammo within a 4-meter radius. It also gives score for it, similar to the medical crate. The ammo crate owner earns resupply score when the crate's aura resupplies friendly players. Ammo and medical crates now collide with vehicles. This means the crates can be placed on top of vehicles and will remain in place when driving around. Now reworks to AP mines. Explosion delay after activation has been increased to 1 second from 0.7 seconds. Activation radius size has been increased by 20%. Blast radius size has been increased to 7 meters from 6 meters to align with activation delay. Max damage in blast radius has been increased to 1.5 meters from 1 meter. The explosion blast now occurs with an upwards facing half sphere that spawns 0.8 meters above the ground instead of a full radius. So players can now avoid blast damage from the AP mine if they manage to go prone in time. Going from sprinting to prone is less likely to allow the player to survive, as the transition is longer than a simple stand to prone transition. Max amount of placeable AP mines has been reduced to 2 from 3. The minimum distance between deployed AP mines has been increased to 3.6 meters from 0.7 meters. So chances are you're not going to get wrecked going to a resupply station anymore, or at least it's less likely. Deployed AP mines are now unspawned 1 second after the player dies and moves to the spawn screen or parrot cam. Moving while prone or crouched, but not crouch sprinting, will no longer trigger the AP mine in some scenarios. The PIAT. One-shot kill radius against infantry has been reduced to 0.25 meters. Splash damage now deals a minimum of 55 damage against infantry up to 3 meters. Rifle grenade launcher. Maximum blast damage reduced to 80 from 100. Blast radius increased to 5 meters from 4 meters. Quick thinking players can now throw back the weapon's grenades similar to regular frag grenades. That is going to be incredibly difficult to pull off. The grenade projectile is now also represented as a grenade icon on the battlefield, just like the frag grenade is. AT grenade pistol, the damage on impact against infantry has been lowered from 100 to 98. Moving on to soldier fixes. Players are no longer able to enter a bleed out state when getting killed outside of the combat area. Improved the behavior of exiting the gunner seat of a tank while the vehicle is upside down, reducing the risk of falling below in the ground. adjusted how fast the explosion detection happens when moving to another stance. This should make for a more consistent experience relative to what is happening in first person. Fixed issues where the detection of explosions and incendiary damage on soldiers would be larger than the size of the soldier in multiple stances, increased consistency on soldier accelerations, increased distance at which down players can be notified of incoming medics that have confirmed that they're en route from 25 meters to 50 meters, and 25 meters is still the max for the nearby medics. Players can bleed out faster in the man down state. You can now bleed out in 2.5 seconds as opposed to 3.5, and you can now also hold on longer for a total of 25.6 seconds rather than 21.33 seconds. Manual leaning can now be used in Firestorm. Map and mode fixes. Now there are absolutely a litany of changes to maps and modes, most notably Frontlines, which is unfortunate because Frontlines is no longer a mainstay mode in Battlefield 5, but I digress. I'm not going to go through these, it is way too long and you're all going to die of boredom. Moving on to UI, HUD options, assignments, and other fixes. Platoon emblems are now properly equipped to weapons when applied. Corrected the requirements for the LS26 Proficiency 5 and 6 assignments. Fixed a bug that stopped players from spawning in a land vehicle after having used the Stag Hound. Improved the function of when a squad leader cancels a matchmaking instance. Previously, it wouldn't always be applied to squad mates. Fixed an issue that would render most of the screen as black, both on the deploy screen and when spawning at the start of a match. The stationary MG on combined arms now shows the correct icon in the kill log. Fixed an issue that would sometimes hinder a player from rejoining a server that they previously had gotten kicked from due to being idle. Stability fixes made improvements to fix sudden frame drops occurring when firing a stationary cannon or when getting shot while playing Firestorm. Made general stability improvements. Xbox One specifics added a manual lean toggle/hold option, same for PlayStation 4. So, that was quite a lot of patch notes, and I didn't even go through all of them because you all would have been dead by now. Anyways, I digress. So, the most important ones for me are really like the nerfs to the explosives and the fixes to stuttering. Hopefully, it did fix the stuttering that I was experiencing and that I would say probably 75% of the Battlefield 5 community was experiencing. So fingers crossed that that issue has been solved in its entirety. So generally speaking, a lot of good things in this patch. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget that the Sundan map is more than likely going to be delayed from June 27th to an unspecified date as of last news we got for that map. Anyways, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.